Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Magic in the Midwest podcast. This is podcast number 11. I am J.B. Michaels, USA Today best-selling author, joined by my more successful wife,
Ashley Michaels.
Ashley Michaels. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the Magic in the Midwest podcast. Remember, these podcasts are brought to you by the great subscribers on our Bandcamp, Magic in the Midwest Bandcamp.com. They're really fantastic. Thank you so much for subscribing. And they are brought to you by my best-selling books. There are 12 in total, 3 different series, something for everyone. Please check them out on Amazon.com or go to MrMichaels.com for a free book, MISTER Michaels, MICHAELS.com. So now that we've got some of that quick housekeeping.
Well, no, you should talk about the perks of being a subscriber, JD.
Yes.
For those of you that haven't done it but are on the cusp.
Yeah, if you're on the fence.
On the cusp?
On the cusp? I don't know, cusp. I don't think that's right. But, I mean, it sort of is.
It's not completely
just doesn't sound good. It's
better
than fence. Okay, no, not as good as fence. What is wrong with me?
What's wrong with
Hello!
us?
Drink more of your spritzer, Ash.
Wait, I'm going to.
Your white
Perks
wine spritz.
Of being a wallflower. No,
right.
A subscriber.
Okay.
Let's go.
You get double the episodes. Literally double.
I mean, that's a bargain.
Right. You're getting lots of content. Lots more content. If you like us and the podcast in Walt Disney World, you will get double the content. And that content is usually... Content. Wow, I said really Chicago there.
You did.
That content... Still sounded it.
I don't like
I don't know. That we literally we do attraction smackdowns, we do resort smackdowns, we do signature smackdowns, which are like, you know, the fireworks and
we
things
do
like
physical,
that.
actual
We
smackdowns.
actually fight.
You just hear punching
Yes,
sounds.
you just hear, you know,
Bones
lots of
smacking
bone
together.
crunching awesomeness. JB and Ash MMA.
Austin 316.
Says I just no. Well, hell yeah. Oh, God, I can't say that again. Okay, so you get double the episodes. They're very fun. Sometimes they get heated.
I don't think
Ash went on a rant one time in one of them.
Well, I do my rants because
Right. She ranted a little bit. So you know, we do we just love talking about Disney, and we just love Disney World, and we just want to generate some positivity to the world. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So go ahead.
So how do they subscribe?
Oh yeah, so just go to Magic. Go to Magic in the Midwest podcast.bandcamp.com, and for as little as $3 a month.
You won't even know it's gone.
Right. You won't. $3 a month to support the podcast, and you get double the fun.
That's why I want to make sure we went over that.
Yeah, no, that's good that you did. And
JD has trouble focusing.
And let me tell you another thing, really cool thing that's been happening. We've had a record number of downloads.
We have. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You took everything I had prepared.
Oh,
for
I
the
thought
podcast.
you told me that was something.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
But we have, which is exciting. So
yes.
Lots of downloads.
Yeah.
We're very popular.
Well, thank you.
No.
We're getting there. But thank you very much for, listening. And, please share the podcast when you can. Rate and review the podcast when you can.
And thank you for those of you that write in. We love hearing from you guys on your, thoughts on the podcast, opinions, and thoughts on my rants and all that stuff.
Yes.
So it's fun. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Handle Magic in the Midwest podcast. If you just type that in search bar, you'll find it. And the Gmail to email.
Yes.
Is Magic in the Midwest podcast @gmail.com.
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's housekeeping.
Yes, it is. Okay. All right. So, so now we are going to talk about the next resort on the monorail loop. Last week we talked about the Polynesian. Village Resort Hotel. And this week, we're going to talk about the flagship resort, which is Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa.
The Grand Flow.
Or a lot of people call it. Why are you? What is happening?
I don't know.
You got really into that.
It was inspired.
All right. Okay.
It was natural.
So yes, the Grand Flow, as some people refer to it.
You called it that right before we started.
I did. Okay. So now the Grand Floridian is the most expensive resort on property.
Mm-hmm,
the Contemporary, the Polynesian, and the Grand Floridian are all super expensive.
Yeah, and they're
resorts.
all pretty close, depending on the views you're getting and stuff. But definitely the Grand Floridian usually edges out the other two.
It is based off the Hotel Coronado in San Diego. It's basically the same motif, except it's obviously on the East Coast, or the East. It's not really the coast, but yeah, on the East Coast. And it is. Okay, it's gorgeous. It really is.
It is.
It is a beautiful white and red roofed building. It's painted. It needs to get painted, I think, every single year. There's always some sort of maintenance going on. The grounds are gorgeous. It is our home resort.
It is our DVC home resort.
Yes, which I'm sure we did talk about that in the past. But yes, it is our home resort. And it is also a monorail resort. It is one stop, and you are at the Magic Kingdom. So it's prime real estate. You have to wait literally no time at all to get to the Magic Kingdom. You're right there.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is pretty amazing. Before we go into the actual dig down deep into the different sections of the resort, Ash. What are your overview thoughts on the Grand Floridian?
Well, the Grand Floridian is close to my heart. It is where we stayed when I was a kid, when we went for the first time, or the only time.
Right, the only time. And your parents, pretty much used all their money on that trip.
It was definitely something we thought of as the one time we're going, or maybe the one time we're going for a long time.
Right.
So yeah, we kind of went all out. Like I said in the previous podcast, they did want to stay at the Polynesian. It was booked, so we stayed at the Grand Floridian.
Okay.
And to me, when you walk in there, it's just luxury and brightness, bright white, and I just feel very important when I walk in there.
Right.
There's lots of neat little shop. One thing that's unique about the Grand Floridian is that there are it's not just the store. There's not just one store in there. There's multiple places.
Yeah, it's like a mall, really.
Yeah.
It has a mini mall inside.
And we'll get into this later, but lots of dining options. I think the most on property for a resort. But I just remember walking in and just being whoa. Are we fancy enough for this? It is.
Right.
It's just it's fancy. It's, it's beautiful.
It is.
It's just very Victorian.
Yes.
And
yes.
I'm struggling with the words. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I would say.
Okay.
Just fancy. It's fancy.
It is. It is very fancy. It is very turn of the century. 19th and the 20th. And it is, it's Victorian on the carpeting. It's Victorian, everywhere you look. If you go to the lobby is grand. I mean, it literally, there is no way you can't walk in, to the Grand Floridian and not think that it lives up to its name. It literally is grand. I mean, there are stairwells that are like the stairwells in Cinderella. Their stairwells are that big, that wide, it is...
if you've seen a Disney commercial, there's a good chance that part of
you've
it has
seen
been
the Grand
filmed
Floridian.
in the Grand Floridian. Yeah.
Now, this was Michael Eisner's idea.
Okay.
He wanted to, in the early 90s, he wanted to build a flagship resort. One thing he wanted to do is keep expanding the resorts and like build more resorts, because if you build the hotels, you're getting all the people on the property, right? Which was a smart move.
Yep.
So
Mikey Eyes.
Yes. So Eisner had this, idea for this amazing resort. Cool fun fact: when they were working on, so it must have been late 80s. Must have been late 80s
When
or
was
so.
it built?
Late 80s, early 90s. I have to get the exact date.
Okay.
But if you when Henson was working on Muppet Vision 3D, he actually would stay at the Grand Floridian. Like Disney had him stay there, I think even before it was like completely finished or something. So which is pretty neat. So, Henson has stayed, Jim Henson was there. And actually, it's funny, Henson was a huge, huge fan of the resorts. So he, it's kind of neat to know when you go into the building that, he was there. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool to know that. I don't know.
It is.
And then he was working, obviously, on Muppet Vision 3D and everything like that. And, they had actually had so many other plans for the Muppets in Disney World. Yeah, but then he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that just kind of fell apart. All right. So, now, for me, I think it was maybe 1988 is the date. That's why I'm a little trying to look through this and find that. I think it was, opening dedication ceremony on June 28th, 1988.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently, Burt Reynolds and Lonnie Anderson were there to cut the ribbon. Burt Reynolds. Obviously, Eisner and Frank Wells. Some NASA astronauts, Hollywood celebrities, all great stuff. So now the Grand Floridian is kind of, it is. Like, we would go when I was a kid. I never actually stayed there as a kid, like you have. But we would go on the monorail loop just to check it out. And I remember going with my grandparents before we went into the Magic Kingdom for the night. It just took the monorail loop and would go into the Grand Floridian and go into the shops and just, like, take it in. I mean, you got the grand piano. Mm-hmm. Sometimes there's actually, like a full band.
And
in there as well.
I always remember the elevator.
It's like a birdcage elevator type of thing. Yeah, it's really cool. So it's and then the floor is like marble, and there's like the Mickey and the Goofy and the characters are in the floor. Mm-hmm. But it's done in such a subtle and it does flow. It's subtle way. Even the genie, I think, is on the floor too. Like there's lots of characters. It does.
Design, yeah.
It fits the motif of the whole resort in and of itself. There is a really great place to go get ice cream. Mm-hmm. Where we would go sometimes. You could actually see the castle and just sit outside, have your ice cream. Look at the castle. It's pretty cool. So the lobby, thoughts on the lobby are, it's like the multiple stories big, huge chandeliers.
It's grand.
Yeah, it is. I don't know what else we could really say about it. It's just, like, I remember just wanting to go, like, run around as a kid, like, just up and down the steps, you know. And one of my favorite shops, there's a little shop, souvenir shop for kids and things like that, is in the Grand Floridian. Like, when you walk in on the second floor from the monorail station, and you turn right, there's a Mickey Mercantile or something like that. Yeah,
I think we were in there. But I also like the one if you walk in on that same floor to the left. It's like kind of like bath stuff.
Yes.
In there. That's how fancy I am. Bath stuff.
Basin, right?
Basin.
Yeah. That's the name of the. That's the name. Cool,
you go in there and you smell everything, and like ooh, and then you don't buy anything.
Right. It's a 5. So right. Jeez.
But you can shop and like almost make a decent, a few hours out of it.
Yeah.
There's enough to do there.
There's enough. Yeah, and in the Christmas time they have the huge gingerbread houses.
Yeah, we've never seen that.
Which are very famous. And then at Easter time they've got these beautiful Easter eggs that they decorate. So again, it's in and of itself, it's an attraction. It is.
It is.
I don't know where else you'd see something like that, but it is. It's an attraction for sure. It's 5-story high atrium lobby. It's just insane with, of course, stained glass domes at the top. So if you look up, stained glass domes are up there. It's weird. Like, we have stayed. We are. That's our home resort, and we have stayed at the Floridian. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like I've never stayed. I don't know why. I just feel like I've never stayed there. Okay, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
All right. So the resumes. The resort rooms are big, just like the other resort rooms. Probably not quite as big as Polynesian and Contemporary. I think they're slightly smaller. Yeah, I think they're a little smaller. There's multiple buildings. At Grand Floridian, it's not all like one connected building. Yeah. So it depends on where you're at. All right. So what do you think about the pool at the Grand Floridian and the pool options?
I guess for me, there's really not anything noteworthy. I think it's a nice pool, but it's not, if you were to have me name my favorite pools, I wouldn't name the Grand Floridian. And I don't know exactly why that is, but it's a nice big pool, but I don't really think any more of it than that.
Yeah, you know what? There is nothing spectacular about it. The main pool, there's a bigger main pool, and it's a pretty standard resort pool. It really is.
Yeah.
It's big, it's bigger, and maybe that's all they cared about was the fact that it could hold a bigger capacity.
To put it in perspective, as a child, the only memory I really have of the pool was the clock that's near the pool, like where you can get drinks and snacks and stuff. I just remember the clock.
Yeah.
By the pool.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so but that's cool that you remember that. It's something that stuck out in your mind. I remember when we stayed there, mm-hmm. the pool was so packed. There was no chairs.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? And some lady did not move. She was blocking us. Like, she had came later than us, I think. And she just blocked our way out. Like, she completely blocked the entrance.
We had to, climb over.
It was really weird. It was. She was older, and
but she didn't want to deal that we were
alive.
Right. People trying to get through.
Yeah.
There was no other option.
Right. Do you want me to step on your face?
Maybe she did.
Maybe. Maybe for a lifetime lift or a stretch. Some plastic surge.
From
so
JB's foot.
I don't know. It doesn't make
weird
sense.
Weird vibes.
Yeah. It was weird vibes. We couldn't get out. I remember being like, gosh, we literally, how do we get out of this pool area? I'm not... Yeah, that was a little strange. Also, I noticed too, whenever you're at the Floridian, when we've stayed there, there's always some sort of maintenance going on. There's always a golf cart going somewhere. I mean, maybe because people are probably, I would imagine, some people, especially when you're saying concierge and club level, you probably ask the service staff to do everything for you. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there are a lot of but I mean also just the grounds, because the grounds are always kept.
We've only stayed there once, so that was just our experience one time.
Well, but no, when we've walked around there in other visits, I've noticed that too. Really, because we have been there.
And you know what? It could be something as simple as where, because it's always the golf carts that we see going back and forth. Maybe it's as simple as where the main area that they have to go, or something they're going back to that's in front of the resort or something, versus another resort having it placed in a better spot. Yeah. But you do always notice it. I mean, just back and forth. And I know we've listened to other podcasts where they talk about that too.
Yeah. So we do have, I know we were talking about the bigger pool, and it's weird, but that pool is technically considered the quiet pool. Yeah. There's the other pool with the slides and the rock work and the waterfall. That's actually considered the main pool, that most kids are at, but it's much smaller than the quiet pool.
Are there a lot of people there?
There were a decent amount.
Okay.
And there is that Alice in Wonderland themed splash pad area.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that I like with the Mad Hatter dump water, bucket that dumps on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was cool. So yeah, I mean, it does. I think that was added later, to be honest. I feel like the pool you remember and the one we were talking about the most used to be the big main pool. Yeah. So, and then of course, there is inside of the Grand Floridian now is the Bippity Boppity Boutique.
All right.
Yes. So if you have, if you want to go there, and obviously, Bippity Boppity Boutique is where you can take your kids to get dressed up like a prince or a princess. Get a total makeover, get your nails done.
How long has that been there?
I think they've
always
one in Grand Floridian is newer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's newer. It's new.
Okay.
I think that's the newest one. Because there's one in Disney Springs, there's one in Magic Kingdom, and now one in Grand Floridian. There might be more, for all I know.
Because I know those appointments are hard to get, so hopefully easier to accommodate people with more locations.
Right. Yeah, so, there is, and there's, of course, there's a marina, and there you could, take those little sea rays out. There's fishing excursions you can do. There's a private adventure where you could board a water vessel and, hunt treasure at various ports amongst Disney lakes, blah, blah, blah. Kind of cool. Lots of different things to do.
Yep.
And then, of course, great viewing area for the electrical water pageant, which we didn't talk about. Did we talk about that with the Contemporary? Yeah, we didn't.
Maybe we did a little bit.
It's basically like just a series of floats and like Christmas lights. And just lights at night. They're like dragons and American flag. It's really cool.
Yeah.
it goes out every night.
Oh, is it every night?
Yeah, it's every night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So we got Bippity Boppity Boutique, and then of course there's a Disney Spa, Senses.
Oh yeah.
Yes. What are your thoughts on spa situations, Ash?
I could see the appeal. Not really for us now. I don't feel like that's something I would really want to do.
Right, with a 5-year-old. Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
But
in the future,
you're out doing whatever it is you're doing.
Right.
Playing golf.
Right.
Badly.
Yeah.
And
definitely badly.
Me.
Yeah.
I don't know, getting some Botox or something.
There you go. Yeah.
And having a really swollen face.
I don't know if they do that.
I kind of like... No, they do.
They do?
I don't know if they do it at
Disney?
that spa, but I know they do it at Disney spas in certain locations. They do.
They have Botox?
I know on the cruise, some of the cruises, they do it.
No way.
Yeah, they do.
Oh my gosh. I did not know that.
Like fillers and all that.
Wow.
So...
Okay. Yeah, so...
that's definitely what I think of when I think of going on vacation. I want to have a medical procedure done.
Right. Shoot me with some chemicals. Right. So...
But, yeah, no, I like the idea of maybe in the future when we're in a different situation, going and getting a massage or a pedicure or something like that would be nice.
It's funny. Saratoga Springs also has a spa. It's the Senses Spa and everything like that. So yeah, there's Saratoga Springs has a spa, Vero Beach has a spa, and Grand Floridian. I think.
You think about it, you're like, you go. If you have a day where you're off, it'd be nice if
just
hey,
chill.
You know what? I'm gonna schedule this and relax.
I've never had a mani or a pedi in my life,
or a horny, We talked about that in another podcast.
We did. Horny, the gargoyle on the bridge going to be our guest.
Because JB was talking about how the gargoyle would need to go get a mani-pedi, but what would he have? Because he has horns, then you said a horny, and you got very...
That was really funny. What would happen if I got a pedi?
What do you mean?
Like, what do they do? Like, what happens? Walk me through this.
You would sit in, like, one of the chairs and put your feet in the, like, hot water.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're putting your feet into, like, a hot tub.
Okay.
But not quite as hot.
Okay.
So they soak
Why'd you say it like that? Like, a hot tub.
Like a hot tub. I don't know.
What the hell?
And then because that makes your skin soft, and then they kind of, for lack of better words, they like sand it, so they get all the dry skin off your feet, and then they trim your nails. But the nice thing is they take the scrub and they like massage your feet and like rub it up your leg and massage your calf, and it feels really nice and relaxing. Except for if you have someone that has really long nails, like sometimes that digs into your feet and it's really uncomfortable.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
well, the first time I get a pedi, it's going to be a Senses Disney Spa.
Okay.
Spa.
Me, you, and Harrison.
It's going to be at the spa together. Let's do it. All right. Cool. So
I've gotten like 5 pedicures in my life.
So we talked about the pools. We talked about all that stuff. All right. What about? Let's go. Let's do the DVC stuff.
Okay.
And then talk about restaurants. Or no, let's do restaurants first. Okay. So there are 9 restaurants.
We can't really talk about most of them.
No, we can't.
So let's do restaurants first. Okay, that's it. No. We should talk about the, like Victoria or whatever it's called.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so there is the most expensive restaurant on property, which I think is rivaled, but doesn't, but it's still the most expensive, but it is rivaled by the new Japanese restaurant, Hamada something.
In Epcot?
In Epcot, there's a new one.
No, wait, talk to me about price point real quick between Victoria and Albert's, that's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
And California Grill. I mean, not even close.
Oh, not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Okay.
We're talking not even close.
So not even close.
Not even close. All right, yeah. No, it's Victoria and Albert's is I think around 1,000. 1,000 for a dinner? For 2 people? I think it's for 2 people. Yes. It is the signature restaurant. Obviously, Victoria and Albert is named after Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. And it is there's a dress code. You have to wear jackets, and women have to wear either a dress or dressy pants and a nice, blouse or whatever.
That's when we'll get our mani-pedi.
Yeah.
Before we do that.
Yeah.
So sometime in the future.
We're going to need to take out a loan. All right. Which we can't do anyway. No.
Please subscribe to our podcast.
Please subscribe, everyone. It's just 3 short minutes. Okay. It's a 7-course meal.
Man,
okay,
how much time does this take?
You also want to make sure you're getting that priority seating because there is what is called a chef's table, where the chef personally welcomes you into his kitchen, introduces you to the other cooks, I guess, and you sit in like a special area near the kitchen, and it's incredible. I guess it's quite the experience. The food
honestly,
is amazing.
I would be down to do it once if we,
Yeah, if we could.
For the experience. I mean, I also enjoy Cheetos, so it's not important, but...
Okay. Yeah.
Why is that?
I also enjoy Cheetos. I was thinking in my head what I was next going to say.
But, it sounds like it would be a really neat once-in-a-lifetime experience.
I think it's something you do once.
Well, I mean, we're not going to do it.
Right.
We may never do it.
You know what? Where do you want to go tonight? Vicky and Al's. Let's go. Let's go to Vicky and Al's tonight,
It'll be like a standing weekly reservation.
Yeah, I mean, there is...
I wonder how full they are most nights.
I bet you they are
capacity?
Full. Yeah.
Yeah?
I bet you they are full.
Maybe could do a GoFundMe. JB and Ash. No.
No, that would be terrible. Okay.
It was just a joke.
Yes, I know.
But if you want to, donate.
Don't. Shut up. Okay, so Narcoossee's. Now, Narcoossee's is this is a restaurant you could see from from the Contemporary. You could see it from the Polynesian.
That's like out in the gazebo?
Sticks out. Yeah, it's like in a gazebo, sticks out in the water. I've actually eaten there.
Oh.
It's not nearly as expensive.
Who were you with?
I was with another girl. I'm going to admit it. Just to get it out of the way.
So you took someone else to Narcoossee's.
I did.
All right.
Okay.
Noted. I'm just kidding. Is that more on price point with California Grill?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a little bit better.
Okay.
California is probably a little higher.
So give us your thoughts.
It's octagonal. So
Not
it's
on
an
just
octagon.
the restaurant, but on your company. Do you have better company now?
Yes. Yes. Something really did happen kind of crazy inside that experience at the time. The waiter was really strict.
Okay.
And the person I was with forgot their ID. So
I'm trying to think of who it was.
there was some rage involved in the experience. And it was intense. I felt like overwhelmed by it. I was like,
You
oh my
look
gosh.
overwhelmed right now.
Right. It was really kind of stressful.
Just because we couldn't have a drink.
Right.
Which was apparently very important.
Big deal. Yeah. So that was intense.
We should go back and have a better experience.
We should.
We won't get carded because we look so old.
Yeah, we won't. Yes, that's right. So it's
how was the food?
The food's good. The food's good. I mean,
you
it
think
is
worth the price point?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, believe me, I was there a long time ago. So I mean, I can't speak to it now, but it was really good. I liked it. It's a cool spot.
Is that near where where people get married?
No.
Oh, that's a totally
It seems
area.
like it would be, but
Okay,
it's not. It's pretty far.
Okay.
Okay. So there's also Citrico's, which is apparently people love Citrico's. I think this is probably the most popular restaurant.
Okay.
On property, it's American seafood and Mediterranean Florida fare. People like this place, is from what I hear. One of the more highly rated restaurants. Then there's the Garden View Tea Room, 1900 Park Fare, which is a character dining experience with Mary Poppins, Alice in Wonderland, Pinocchio, and Cinderella. So it's
that's a good
group. I mean, you're getting quality characters. 1900 Park Fare for the kids, for the kiddos. Then the Grand Floridian Cafe, which is, people were really impressed with it. It's more of a family restaurant type of setting. Pretty cool. Dining there is nice. We actually ate in the Gasparilla Island Grill. Didn't we? Yeah, we did. One day. When we called our family on our honeymoon, right?
Thanksgiving.
It was Thanksgiving Day.
And we were talking about what we were thankful for.
Yes.
On speakerphone with your family because they were sitting down to eat dinner for Thanksgiving.
Yes. Yes. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, it was, I don't remember if I don't think did we actually have anything to eat in there? Or maybe we just sat down and we kind of experienced.
No, we sat in a booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were on speakerphone and we...
And Mom and Dad and...
Yeah.
Everybody talked about...
Talking about, what we were thankful for and kind of... JB and I were talking about the wedding, and we had just come back from the cruise, so we were talking about that.
Yeah.
And it was just a really great experience.
It was a cool moment.
And that was also, I'm pretty sure that's where my family, besides the parks, when we were there and I was 8, that's where we ate on property. We didn't do, anything fancy, so we were always in...
Yeah.
It's the quick service, one of the quick service locations on
it
property.
Is.
So,
it is.
Or at the resort. So,
sorry.
It's all right. It brought back memories for me to be in there. Like, I remembered it, and yeah, it's
good. It's good. It's a good quick service. Mm-hmm. It's got good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Get a good grilled sandwich. Sorry, I got a little emotional there because I could hear my mom's voice on the phone saying that she was thankful for her family. Mm-hmm. And she
and her new daughter
started
she loved more than her own son.
And she started to break up a little bit.
Yeah.
When she said it,
Yeah. But
yeah. Okay. Enough of that. Now I'm making myself cry. Ash is crying. Everyone's crying.
I'm just going to keep drinking. It's fine.
Please.
Snort more Coke. No, I don't do that.
All subscriptions go to our Coke addiction. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh,
we don't
why
have
would
a
you
Coke
say
addiction.
that?
I'm kidding. We do not have that.
We
seriously.
don't. I have a McDonald's Coke.
Yes,
that
that's what
helping?
we're talking about.
Yes.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, now that got off the rails, and I did not anticipate getting that emotional in the moment, but I did. Okay, another great thing about the Grand Floridian is we said it earlier in a quick overview, but the monorail is another awesome perk for being there.
I want to put a poll out there while we're talking about the monorail. So you talked about how it's such a great perk, and it is, to be one stop away from Magic Kingdom. And while I agree, I wonder if people, for me, it's a great perk, but I would rather have a shorter distance on the way home, on the way back to the resort, than on the way there. Meaning, like, when you think about it, when you're leaving the Magic Kingdom, you have, it's the end of the night, you're tired, now you have all these stops.
Well,
I mean, right, is it that big of a deal? But it's not. But I would honestly prefer to get on, let's say we're staying at Contemporary, and then, when you're on the way home and you're tired and you've stayed and everyone's had meltdowns, we're one stop away.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I think you might get your answer. There is a walkway, I think, being built from Magic Kingdom to Grand Floridian.
Okay.
So, it's not,
It'll be interesting because we plan to book something at the Floridian, actually, for 2021.
Yes.
Assuming that, the 50th, we assumed that
which
we
means
would have to stay at our...
probably do that soon.
Yeah, I know, 11 months out. We've been saying
oh my gosh.
Get a clue.
We better do it.
And we're going to go to Vicky and Al's.
Vicky and Al's!
Start
saving your spa, buddy. Okay. All right, so one other cool thing, last topic we're going to talk about for the Grand Floridian is the DVC side of the Grand Floridian Resort and Spa.
Yep.
So so you know how Ash hasn't said it yet, which I was surprised. But we are not intrinsically drawn to
I was saving it for this.
Victorian aesthetics, right? Or like the maybe fanciful styling
doesn't mean
of
that it's
the lobby.
Not
it's
the
still
most
impressive,
beautiful
right?
Resort on property.
It is beautiful. However, when we walked into the DVC building of Grand Floridian, we were pleasantly surprised. Almost, it feels more like home. It really is great. And one of the biggest things we loved was the Mary Poppins motif.
Love. With
the penguin water fountain, which is right there in the middle of the lobby. So cool. So I thought that was great. And it's cool because that they have a bunch of the penguins from Mary Poppins and they're copper, right? I think they're all copper.
Yeah, I think so.
And they all kind of pouring water all over in this multi-tiered water fountain. And but when we first went, there were issues of the water fountain splashing on the ground. So they've since fixed that. But
if you
it was a big issue.
The way it was built, it was intended the penguins are like sort of tiered up and they're holding cups. And the water is supposed to drip from the higher up cup that's being held to like a lower cup, and it didn't really work because it was splashing too much. So now they've turned it down, so to say, but now the water just drips straight down and doesn't land in any of the other cups. I don't know how to explain that, but it was just something they didn't think about or
no.
But I remember sitting there and we were getting wet, and then there were big puddles of water around the fountain.
Yeah, we were waiting to see one of the rooms.
Yeah.
Because this is when we first, we're doing the DVC tour. This after we signed. And they brought us to our home resort afterwards. And they were like, you should check out the Floridian now.
Yeah, we didn't even look at it before we signed.
Right. So we went in there, and it's the DVC rooms themselves are great. They have the double showers, just like the Polynesian does.
Yep.
It's great. It's
and
really
they have
nice.
a TV in the mirrors in the bathroom.
How cool!
Yeah.
Yeah, so you brush your teeth and you can watch the TV.
You want to get away from your kids?
You know,
go watch TV in the
watch
bathroom.
the must-do Disneys while you're brushing your teeth.
Grab a bottle of wine.
With
go
Stacy.
in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Watch the TV in the mirror.
Yes, must-do Disney. Yeah.
JB loves must-do Disney.
We put
and
that
the girl.
Well.
Was that who you were at the restaurant with?
No. Okay, so we the other day during all of this, like a month ago, watched the Must Do Disneys.
We
and
did.
Loved it. So the DVC rooms are really nice. There's a like white and grays, and
I think there's some like
it's a light,
neutral like greens.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very light inside, and there's some Mary Poppins
touches.
Yeah, Mary Poppins touches in there. Some artwork that talks about, it has some Mary Poppins on it, like a profile of her and Mickey and Minnie dressed up in the kind of Victorian outfits, or the outfits that they wore in the cartoon scene of Mary Poppins. Mm-hmm. So it's a really nice aesthetic. The DVC rooms are very, very cool. We only stayed in a deluxe studio at this point, but it was more than enough room, and it was really nice. Yeah.
So we chose the Grand Floridian without seeing the rooms, like JB was saying, and we did it basically on location. So they were selling that Animal Kingdom, and we've heard nothing but great things about DVC Animal Kingdom, but we didn't want to be that far away. We chose to be near Magic Kingdom, and we really did not anticipate liking the rooms as much as we did.
Yeah.
Like we went there and we were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, these are really nice.
Because like we said, the Grand Floridian is beautiful, but it's not like our first.
It's not homey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't beg of home, like a comfy home. This does. The DVC side does. It really feels
I think so.
good. It really feels
to
nice.
Us. I know a lot of people that love staying at the Grand Floridian.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It just depends. It's all
totally
personality and what you like and that type of thing.
So very neat. Very neat. Okay. So what else was I going to say about it? Oh, yeah. One other thing. And, it is sort of, the DVC building is sort of set a little bit further down the path in between Polynesian and the Grand Floridian.
That is nice, though, because it's easier to just walk. We walked over to the Polynesian when we were
I
staying
mean,
there
it's
for
really,
lunch.
I mean, I like the fact.
Because I wanted to go to Captain Cook's.
Yeah. I like the fact that it is, kind of, separate. But, again, the resort station's all the way down by Gasparilla Grill. So I do, you walk a pretty long way to go fill up your resort beverage, and then come back. So you are sort of far from the main area.
Not a resort that was built with DVC in mind.
Yes. Yet again, another one that was separate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they had built it on afterwards, to come up with, another way to do it to keep those DVC buildings going up. Mm-hmm. Not an old Key West, not a Saratoga or Boardwalk type of situation, but still beautiful, still great. Mm-hmm. Feels nice in there. There's a coffee station in the lobby of the DVC Center.
That is nice.
Yeah,
you do have that.
You could just go in there and grab some coffee
I think
in there.
you can make like espresso too. And it's a little bit.
It's nice. Yeah. It's nice.
It is.
Pretty neat. All right. I guess that pretty much covers it. What are your final thoughts on the Grand Floridian, Ash?
I mean, of course, a little bit of my heart is there because that's our home, and also it was my first experience at Disney. So, and I think it has a lot to offer. It's not 100% where we always want to stay or where we choose to stay, but it definitely, when we're back there, I kind of do a like a big sigh, like I remember this, and I like it, and there are parts of it that I really, really enjoy. So and it has a lot to offer. So it's cool. Mm-hmm. It's cool.
It is. It's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool. Yeah. Grand Floridian.
I want to add something.
Okay.
When we first got engaged, I actually thought about, we know people that got married there, and I was like, I want to get married there. And there was a 3-year wait to get married at the Grand Floridian.
Wow. So 3-year wait. Holy cow. We can't really do that. Not happening.
But yeah, I was really, I was set on making that happen. I don't even know if you know that. But then I was like, no. In 3
Wow.
years, we won't want to get married.
This
so we
is
need to
new
get
information for
married
me.
Sooner than that.
You really looked into it that much.
Yeah, I didn't really look. I looked into getting married in Hollywood studios by the Great Movie Ride.
That would have been so cool.
But then, I went back, so I was like, what about our grandparents? And
Right,
I got a quote on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much?
It
Say it.
was a lot.
Well, tell
I
tell
don't
the people.
I don't remember.
Okay.
There was all this different stuff about, packages and eating,
Okay.
and you could they offered something like inside the ride, like doing something inside the ride.
Cool.
But
Wow.
we wanted to do a more
I'll be
religious
honest, the way we did
stuff.
it was perfect.
Was.
I think it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
People remember our wedding.
You do.
There's one of those memorable ones. Of all the ones you go to. All right.
I mean, I think every couple thinks that.
Nope. Not every couple.
We're the best.
Especially the ones that get divorced. Nope.
Oh, right. Hey.
It happens.
A lot of people get divorced.
I know it's okay. It's okay. But I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying?
I don't.
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry, divorced listeners. I didn't want to single you out.
No, I think you mean there's some times when you go to a wedding.
You get a feeling.
And you just know it's not good.
Right.
Between.
Yes.
You just get a vibe.
It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I meant. I didn't mean. That was stupid of me to say. I'm sorry. I get carried away sometimes with my ridiculousness. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. Thanks to our subscribers yet again. Please, go if you want double the episodes. Please go to the Bandcamp, Magic in the Midwest podcast.bandcamp.com. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you guys listen to the podcast. That would be great. Share the podcast with your friends and family. And, thank you again. And from the middle, anything else I'm missing?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Check out the Instagram. It's probably the coolest thing Ash does. It's for the podcast. It's awesome. It's really great.
It probably is the coolest thing.
It is really good.
The podcast isn't even the coolest thing.
Instagram.com. No, just the Insta. All right.
But totally subscribe.
Totally subscribe. All right. Totally describe it. I don't know. Okay. So, all right. From the Midwest. See you later.